Question number 2, how would you encourage a partner to be healthy along with you?
Luckily, there's 2 of us on here from 2 completely different lifestyles. Yeah. You are a happily married man, and I am a very happily single man. But I'm going to let you tackle this first, and then I'll come in from my perspective.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I would think first is ask, hey, what can I do to help you be healthier? Realistically, there's probably deep down your partner, spouse, whoever wants to be healthier. Like, we always want to be healthier.
Would you address that to them first? Say, hey, I realize that you're kind of living an unhealthy lifestyle. What is something that I can do for you to change that? Or would you wait for them to bring it up to you and then support them any way that you can?
Yeah. Yes and no. I think every situation, even if they're similar, are still going to be different. I would wait. I would say if a person's like, oh, I need to lose weight or I should start eating better, then that's when it's like, it's a perfect avenue. Cool. How can I help you with that? And also know that this person doesn't, if I'm working out and I'm through a hypertrophy phase right now and I'm like killing myself in the gym, if my wife comes to me and is like, hey, I want to start working out, or I need to lose weight, or I want to build muscle, whatever. My goal is, cool, how can I help you get there? That doesn't mean that she has to do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That just means that I should be the encourager for her to do whatever it is. So if she wants to go to Orange Theory, right? Or Planet Fitness or Norse, whatever it is, cool. Like, I support you in that. I want to help you do that. I think another thing too, going the other option is kind of lead by example. So I'm dialed in on my nutrition. I'm making, I wake up in the morning and I do mobility work or whatever it is. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. I'm going to the gym and I'm getting wins. I feel good. I can play with my daughter longer. Like your child, whoever, like your spouse can see that and kind of want that same thing and kind of feel encouraged. Like, hey, this person's doing this. I would love to, be healthy too, right? So I think the biggest thing is just to be present with them, to be open with them, offer, but don't be pushy.
Be supportive.
I think there's a time to be pushy. I think sometimes you have to be pushy, especially if it's like, I want to get healthier. What should I do? I'm like, well, first, you've been saying this for 4 years.
I was going to say, it gets to a point where talk is cheap.
So it can, so talk is cheap. So it can get pushy. But I think if this is the beginning, it's like if they've mentioned it, I would say, cool, how can I support you in that? If they haven't mentioned it, lead by example. I'm going to go for a run. Walk in, man, that workout felt great today. I'm losing weight. I feel better than I've ever felt before. If they're going to hear that, man, I want to feel that.
Right, because they probably don't feel great if they're not doing anything.
Yeah, so that's how I would tackle it. What about you?
I'm going to tackle this I'm going to put myself in someone else's shoes.
Okay.
Because I haven't had to deal with this type of thing in a while. But let's say you're a female, right? Say the person that asked this question is a female, and they have a husband or boyfriend or someone that is just a lazy piece of shit. That's harsh, I know, but it could be the reality of the situation.
Right.
And this female wants to, she's working on herself. She's going to the gym, she's eating right and all this stuff. And the man of the household, the person that's supposed to be the leader of the tribe, is just watching Netflix, playing video games, drinking a 12-pack every night, just being a fucking bum. And she's frustrated with that. She wants to know what to do. How do I encourage my partner to get his shit together? And you could reverse this role as well. Maybe you're a dude and you're getting your shit dialed in, and your wife or girlfriend, they're just getting worse and worse. It gets to a point, because I've been in this situation before, where you start to resent that person, especially when you're like trying to eat right and they call you and they say, hey, what do you want from Zaxby's or McDonald's or some shit? And you're like, I'm not eating that. I'm eating beef and rice or, whatever your meal prep is. And they can't understand that. It gets to a point where you are on 2 different pages and you continue to get further and further and further apart. And then you start to resent that other person because they're supposed to be the one person that supports you the most. And instead they're calling you, asking what you want to eat from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or, hey, do you want me to grab a large pizza tonight? No, I want to stick to my meal prep. But they can't wrap their head around that because they don't have the same goal. So you really start to resent that person. And I feel like the person that asked this question could be in that situation where their partner is just not getting their shit together. And guess what? They're growing further and further apart. When they started dating, they had the same lifestyle. Well, now one of them wants something more for themselves. So what happens there? There's a gap that's opening up. Now there's only one way to close that gap. Either you bring yourself back down to just being a mediocre whatever, or that other person needs to step up to the plate and come up with you.
Yeah.
That gap can only get so big, man, until eventually you no longer want to be with that person anymore. So to address this question, how do you encourage your partner to live a healthier lifestyle? I think the first thing is to, like you said, lead by example. But if you're still doing that and they just think that you're silly and they don't see the point in it, then you need to sit down with them and you need to have a sincere conversation. I love you, but you're holding me back. You're encouraging bad habits that I'm trying to eliminate. And it's very hard to do that when we live in the same household. Or, hey, I want us to grow old together. I want us to be 80 years old and killing it. That's not going to happen with your current lifestyle. We need to change things, and we need to change things as a family because we are a tribe and we need to do this together. Now, either they're going to get on the same page and appreciate you for wanting more for them, which is saying a lot. Like, you want more for someone else. Like, that means you care about that person so much that you want them to get their shit together, or they're not going to. But we've talked about on previous episodes, you cannot force someone to do something if they don't want to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it might get to a point where you and this person are no longer compatible. But first, have a sincere conversation with them. Give them the tools that they need.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. Okay, well, let's do some research. Let's find you a workout program. Let's go check out gyms. Maybe you'll get like a really good vibe. And like Joe said earlier, you don't have to necessarily do the same workouts. Say if you're a dude and you're powerlifting, your chick might not want anything to do with powerlifting. Let her go try CrossFit Gym or Orange Theory or even go to Planet Fitness. I don't give a shit what you do. In all reality, I think it's good if couples don't go to the same gym because that is your time. Like when I work out, that is my time. That is the only time where I'm not distracted by other people and I don't have other people wanting things from me. So maybe it's good to go to two different gyms. And when you get home, you guys can talk about how good your workout was together. And then you guys can eat your healthy food together. That's the goal. Yep. But if one person is not on the same page, you have a problem. So support that person as much as possible. Give suggestions, buy them books, whatever you need to do. But if it gets to a point where they're holding you back and you just need to kind of take a step back and say, maybe we're not compatible anymore. And this person does not want more for themselves. They want to continue drinking. They want to continue smoking. They want to continue eating a large pizza every night. What do you do in that situation, man?
Yeah.
You got to accept the hard truth that you're just not compatible anymore.
Yeah, you can't. It's really tough, and we can wrap this question up, but you can't basically want, like, I can want this for that person, but I can't make them want it for themselves at the end of the day.
No, but have a sincere conversation with them.
Communication is key.
And support them.
Yeah.
And it's up to them at that point.